we're going to go through the 5 poses. Now, before I would normally do this in a studio environment, we would have had a whole conversation. We're going to give you that conversation when we go back and sit down. So we're just jumping right in. As far as you're concerned, we've had all that, and we're going to sit down.
Good.
Huh? You're perfect. All right, and that stool, I think, is pneumatic. I think it can go down. There you go, my dear, just so you can be a little more comfortable. Swing your knees this way. A couple things about lighting. These are old school rules. Any photography book will probably tell you. In an old school portraiture, your tummy goes away from the light. I'm going to turn you that way. Your nose goes back towards the light. What that is doing is sculpting the body. In fact, you can kind of see it with me. Tummy away, nose towards the light. Now my main light is coming here, and that's slimming my body. If we break that rule, tummy towards the light, nose away from the light, I'm now what we're doing, what's called broad lighting my body, correct? I'm lighting my entire body. I look wider, I look fatter, I look heavier, and I'm broad lighting my face. It looks wider and brighter. So we're now going to go back to tummy away, nose towards. There's shadow on the body, therefore slimming the body, and especially with Madonna portraits, this is important. So tummy away, nose towards. It's a very, very simple rule. We're going to go through the 5 poses, and we're going to show you exactly how we take a mom through the series. I'm not going to photograph as much today. We're kind of doing this backwards, so I'll give you the 10-second version. One of the keys with this series is keeping the baby away from mom. Everybody knows what happens when you do this with a baby. They're going to want to eat, correct? It is a chemical reaction. Babies smell their mom. It's part of how they grow, is they smell mom, and that gets their tummies growling, and mom starts to produce, and all of a sudden it's time to stop and nurse. So I don't want the babies facing into mom as little as possible. So these 5 poses were created to take us through this series very quickly, keeping baby facing out from mom as long as possible. Now, in my studio, we actually do have dolls. And we have a doll called the Ugly Baby, which we'll show you later. It's the ugliest doll you've ever seen. And we use it to actually teach parents how to do this. We grab the doll, they hold their baby, and we explain to them, okay, this is the first pose I want you to do. Pose number 1 we call the nest. And you do not have to take notes on this because we're going to cover all of it. And it's in the book you're going to get for free, the catalog you're going to get for free. This is it. I really want you to focus and pay attention on this. Pose number 1 is called the nest. Now, all of these poses require you as a photographer to assist moving the baby. So I will go to mom and I'll tell her, I'll say, okay, the first number pose, and remember, I have a doll, not her baby. I'll say the first number pose. My goal is the baby's cheek near your chin, and the legs have to be straight out. When I started photography, like most people, this was my Madonna portrait back then. And of course, there's a problem here, and that's the distance between baby and mom. So my first fix for that was to do this. Hold the baby up by your face. Well, of course, what happens when you do that? You block those shoulders and you become like a football player here. So that didn't work. So this is truly an evolution of years and years of me trying to figure this out. In fact, these 5 poses, I taught a 5-day in-studio workshop. And I started doing this, and a student turned to me and they said, is this a formula you have? Do you have this written down? And I looked at her and laughed at it. I said, no, it's not a formula, because it kind of made me feel like a cookie cutter photographer. And as I was shooting, I realized I do the exact same thing when I do this every time. And I realized it is, in fact, a formula. It is something that I had trained myself without knowing, because it was a problem, it was a solution to my problems. And so pose number 1, we're going to put the baby right in here like this. So the key is the feet straight out like that, and I will help mom. And now that's how that's perfect, because moms mostly go like that. And I will say, you know what? I need you to wrap your arms all the way around. So she needs to be in the elbow right there. Good, good, good. And let's bring her little hands out. Tilt your head. Really. Wait till we try to move her head. All right. So now tuck this hand. This looks heavy, right? So we're going to take this hand and hide it down the hole. And we would let's go ahead and take the watch off. I'm sorry, I know we're not really shooting, but I'm kind of freaky about the details, so sorry. And this will be on eBay in just a couple minutes, so if any of you are interested. That's how we really make our money. Oh, we'll need your necklace, your ring. No, jeez.
Oh.
Okay. Do anything. All right, there we go. This is pose number 1. Now we're going to turn you forward. Later on, I'm going to explain. Very soon, I'm going to explain why this pose works. Now, when I shoot, I always tell people, think like a crocodile. Everything I do is formulated in the sense of speed. I'm trying to get a job done. I have a baby, and I have a 20-minute window. Excuse me, people ask me all the time, why do you always say 20 minutes for a session? I absolutely positively believe children have a 20-minute window. It doesn't mean that when they walk in the door they're good to go. It means if I give them an hour, somewhere in there they could be super shy and it takes me 15, 20 minutes to get them comfortable, and then we got that 20-minute window and they're awesome, and then they start to crash. Some kids walk in the door and immediately we're good to go, and 20 minutes later they start to crash. Some kids it takes me the 45, 60 minutes to get them going, and then I get my 20 minutes. But I believe there's a window of time where you have the perfect session, and that's what I'm going for. Anything after that, I consider it gravy. If I can get an hour out of a child, that's awesome, but I'm going for my 20 minutes here. We did this on the Bellies and Babies tour. We did 52 cities, and we asked the audience, we told them to time us every time. This segment that I'm going to show you, the longest we ever took shooting these 5 poses was 18 minutes, the shortest was 13. And out of it came, you know, good 50 awesome, strong images. Okay, go ahead and tilt your head in. So pose number 1, we're going to tighten up those elbows a little bit more. Pose number 1, nice tall back. We're going to talk a little bit later about that. Chin up just a little bit. Got it right there? Good deal. Okay, this is pose number 1. When I said crocodile, I always tell people, shoot the widest format you're going to shoot, and then crop, 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 crop. So there are 5 poses, and within the 5 poses, there are 5 cropping points, or 4 to 5 cropping points. What that means, remember, we've already discussed, Mom doesn't want anything from here down photographed at all. Don't need to go there, right? You look great. So pose number 1, my first shot, horizontal 3/4 shot, right? Then I'm going to turn the camera vertical 3/4 shot. Then I'm going to come in tighter. Mom's looking at the camera. Horizontal, just their faces looking at the camera. Now, Mom, turn your nose in, close your eyes. Now this is just baby, cropped in nice and tight. Probably going to make it a square later. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4. We're good. And now guess what we're going to do? We're going to turn you this way and stick your chin out a little bit. And we've got 1, 2 more. Does that make sense? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've got 1 shot done. Now swing back around. The next pose, actually, yeah, we'll swing it this way. The next pose, and I probably should shoot them because they wanted me to push that button over there. So let's do that real quick. Okay, I got to make sure. Okay, thank you. All right, and I haven't even seen these yet, so I want to see. Let me come back here, my dear. All right, let me just get a little test real quick, and I got to make sure we're at 1/25. Yeah, that looks good. All right, let me get that. All right. You look fabulous. We're going to clean that up tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to go through that series real quick. Nice and tall. Your baby is flashing the camera. Later on, we're going to show you, put your hand, just kind of cup it in just a little more. You can tuck it in, but we want to just tighten it up a little bit. Right there. We're going to explain why these work so well, but right there. All right, here we go. So we're going to go through this very quickly. She's actually getting a little spill. Can I? Okay. Just going to cut that off a little bit more. There we go. All right. So nice and tall. Turn your knees away from the camera a little bit and just torque your body back towards your nose, comes back towards that main light. Good deal. Right there. So we're going to go through this real quick. Nice and soft smile. Newborns don't smile. Moms shouldn't either, as far as I'm concerned. It looks dumb when they're like. So nice and soft. Right there. Beautiful. There's 1. Now I want you to look down. You know what? I need to turn into the light a little bit more. I'm not getting it. The problem with big rooms like this, it's eating all of my light. Even though you think there's a lot of light here, my strobes have very, very little light. So I'm going to try to lighten up that shadow a little bit. Okay, 1 more. Ready? Here goes 1. Soft smile. Good. Turn your nose into the baby a little bit. Just right there. Close your eyes. 2. Good. Eyes back at me. Turn into the light a little bit more. Good. Bring your chin away from the baby a little bit. There it is right there. Soft smile. Beautiful right there. Good girl. Now tuck that hand in a little bit more. Right there. Just tuck it down behind the baby. Close your eyes, tuck in nice and tight. Beautiful, right there. Good girl. And now I need you to swing your knees this way. There you go, right there. And I'm going to swing. Again, efficiency is everything. Lighting is even more important. It's all, unfortunately, there's a lot of light here. It's actually all about the shadow. It's never about the light. It's all about the shadow. So we push that light back and close your eyes, relax, stick your chin out. Beautiful, right there, hold it. Let me get a test. Good, we've got some awesome contrast there, but I need more light on that back. Okay. What's happening is because there's so much room in here, I'm not getting any light back over here. That looks good on the screen though, so whoever's retouching and making those look that good that fast, good job. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, right there, relax. Right there, chin out again, close your eyes. Good, turn your chin in towards your baby just a little bit more, that's much better light. Right there, and chin, turn just a slight hair towards me. Good, that was actually cool. No eyes, and now go ahead and take a peek. Beautiful, wonderful. Okay, now, my dear, that's pose number 1. The next pose, now remember, she would have her baby and I would have my doll, so I'm gonna take my doll back for a minute. She's here with her live baby. I would say, okay, the next pose, in fact, actually, can I have the other doll? Tuck all the way back in, because she's just finished in this position. So, who's this? This is Carlos. He's, why is he in pink shorts then? He's the football baby. The tour crew always dresses my dolls with stuff like this. So my baby, I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna say, okay, you're here. Now don't move the baby yet. I'm gonna help you do this because it takes 2 people. What I'm gonna have you do is turn her this way. The key is I need her bottom above your breast right here. I need her up here because we want her little feet right under your chin. You're gonna take your hands, put them on your head, keep your thumbs tucked in, and you're gonna be looking at her this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and help you do that because it is a 2-person job. We're gonna go ahead and rotate her around. There we go, right there, beautiful. And we've got our little hands in right here. Now I need you to swing your knees this way. Very good, right there. Okay, now this doll unfortunately does not have a turnable head, so you're gonna manually grip the baby's head. Babies don't come with tags either, by the way. There you go, so just right in there, nice and soft. That's good, it's not too bad. Okay, now we have a couple issues here. Mom's hair, but just for the sake of finishing up, the baby's the key here. Mom's a prop, right? So now, again, utilizing awesomely fast tools here. There we go. And just so you know, typically I work in a dark environment so I can see exactly where the light's going. I can't see what's officially happening here, but I know that they need the lights on for the video. Okay, so here we go, shot number 2. I'm just gonna do it real quick because later I'm gonna explain why it's so important. I just need to check my lighting. We're gonna pull your hair back on this side. I'm gonna do a little trick here. I'm gonna tuck your hair behind your ear, and then nobody likes tucked hair and their ears showing, but if I can just hide a little bit of it, it gives it a little softer look. First shots, you're gonna look at the baby, extend your chin out, pretend like she just had a baby. We wanna elongate that neck. So I've gotta take a quick test here real quick, just to make sure that everything is good. I'll let that go. Turn your nose actually away from me just a hair, that way, good. Right there, okay. So here we go again. We're gonna start with a horizontal. Let me keep it pretty tight. There's 1, and a little tighter, 2. And now I want you to turn and look at me. There you go, right there. And what I'm gonna tell her is before I do this shot, before I ask you to do what I want you to do, keep in mind babies hate this position. What you're gonna do is I'm gonna have you bring her towards you and you're gonna look up that way, if that makes sense, but perfect. But let's keep her out because babies hate that. Usually they've just been fed, you squeeze them up that tight and they're gonna get pretty mad. So it's a 1-second shot, you've got a second. So we've done 1, 2, 3. So now I'm gonna get back to the camera. Turn your nose this way a little bit more, tilt your head in just a bit more right there. Very good, my dear. All right, so now go ahead and bring her up towards you, soft smile, good. Turn your nose up towards the light a little bit more. Good, actually that's beautiful, close your eyes. Beautiful, right there, close your eyes again. Good, now put your lips on her cheek. Do not pucker them though, just bring them in close and do not touch her. There you go, right there, close your eyes. Bring your lips towards me a little bit more, right there, beautiful. And she's mad at you, so release her, let her go, there you go. Just keep her in that position though. So that squeeze, we always tell mom, wait till I get back to the camera before you bring her up and then release her real quick. So we've irritated the baby. They don't like this. We're gonna go to the next pose. This is the 3rd pose. Keeping in mind the baby still has not been touching mom. This one, I need a doll again. Carlos, in pink. So I will say, okay, you're here. Now I'm gonna help you with this before you do this. We're gonna lift her off and I want you to rotate her around and, right. We're gonna rotate her around. Your hand is gonna go right through the bottom and her little head is gonna rest right in your elbow. Now, there are 2 things I want you to remember. If she's a 3-month-old to a 6-month-old, the other hand can go here. If she's a newborn, if you've ever photographed a newborn in dad's arms, they look like this because they have no structure and they have tiny little heads, so they look like this. Newborns, the second hand comes under, and we actually have, I'll just have them put it right under, and I will say, touch the collarbone, and when I start shooting, I'm going to tell you to lift. I need you to push that collarbone up. What happens is it pushes the body through here, lifting the neck off, really relaxing the face. So the baby has a nice, soft little face. Now, I know you guys are sitting here going, this is nuts, but this is honestly 24 years of figuring it out, and that's why we could formulate it into this. So newborn is the lift. You can kind of see how it happens. Lift on the collarbone, pushes the baby's face out. 3 months, 6-month-old, you can definitely do this and get away with this. So hang on. Okay, so we were here. Now we're going to rotate her around. Put your hand, actually open your hand up. There you go, right there. You got her right there. Beautiful. Hand on her back. We're going to say, put it up here because she's a bigger baby. Okay. So we're going to say right here, hide her tag. Good. Now swing your body this way a little bit. Now, where the eyes go, the lights go. This is another one that makes this really nice. Because obviously my primary focus is the baby. I'm going to have you turn this way just a little bit more to get a little more light in there, because since I can't really see the detail as well, unfortunately, this baby needs some head help. There we go. Okay, so the same thing. Now we're going to go through the shots. We have shot number 1. Mom's not even in the picture. This is a great dad shot, by the way. This is just arms and baby. Shot number 1, shot number 2. Now, when we need to bring the baby up to mom, 20 years ago, I would have said, bring her up to you. Try that real quick. Okay, what did we do? We just made her look really heavy. So drop her down again. What I'm going to tell you is, what I want you to do is I want you to lift her away from your body and lean your chin out towards her. So let's get her in a little closer right there. Yeah, just like that. Good, so tilt your head towards her a little bit more, and you bring your chin up here a little bit more. There you go. So what you can see happens by lifting the baby out and away and coming in, you've elongated the neck and you've shortened the body. So instead of doing this, you're actually stretching. Okay, so let's drop her down and let's try to kick through these shots real quick so you can kind of get an idea of the session. We're just gonna, I'm kind of cheating here a little bit. Hang on, let me get some light. There's one, I just need to see her eyes. Not too bad. There's 1, 2. Now let's go ahead and bring her out. And just like that, perfect. And lay your head right on her, like right on her head. There you go, right there, good. Tilt your head like you're almost like you're sleeping. There you go, right there. Let's bring the light up to you. Okay, turn into the light just a hair right there. That's beautiful. Actually, not quite so far. Come out a little bit more and tilt your head onto her. There you go. Soft little smile. Let me check. Now, obviously, she's a baby doll and her legs are dorky. Let this elbow come down a little bit. There you go, right there. Thank you. But a real baby, you can manipulate them a little bit more. Let me just check the catch lights real quick. I know she's not a real person, but there we go. Good deal. Turn slightly into the light a little bit more. Good, right there. This hand here is looking heavy. Can you just tuck it under? I would never say looking heavy to a client. I would just say tuck the hand, but you can see what's happening there. It looks like claws. So look at the difference with just moving that one hand. Watch that shot. It's going to take a second to come up, but just really and truly watch how fingers are such distractions when working with newborns. Wow, big difference right there. All right, so hands are important. All right, now put your lips on the baby. I have to speed this up because I want to get to the slides. There's 3. And there's 4, we've got it. All right, that's pose number 3. I'm going to speed this up because I would rather show you this visually. Shot number 3. Now the baby's upset and crying because you squished their tummy again. I say, you know what, do me a favor, just put her in like a burping position. Everybody knows that position. So I quickly change my lights. This one is actually all about mom and her relationship. And this is also a great way to calm a baby down. And it's also great because she could have a pacifier in her mouth and it doesn't matter. This is also a great way to show the little bottom, which we're going to show you later. One hand on the bottom, like a little cup. The other hand gently on her back. You've got it. We're going to force her head. There you go. Fingers together. Tilt your head towards her. So we've got a little bottom showing. Her hands aren't very flexible, but you get the idea. This is pose number 4. Nose towards the light again a little bit. Actually, knees away. Turn your upper body towards the light. There you go. Tilt in. So here we go. There's relax. There's tall back. Lean forward a little bit. There's 1. Nose towards the light a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. 1. Eyes at me. That's okay. 1 right there. Beautiful. You're a good blinker. This is pretty impressive. Ready? Don't blink. Okay, right there. Nice and tall. Lean forward. Nose towards the light again. Good, right there. There's 2. And now a little soft smile, a little bit, but just breathe through the mouth. So you can see a little teeth action there. There you go. Relax. You're doing good. That's okay. There you go, right there, just soft smile. I don't do a lot of smiles with these types of images. Now what I want you to do is tilt in and close your eyes. Turn your nose towards the light a little bit more, right there, beautiful, right there. There's one. Now turn your body, start turning this way, turn, 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 keep going. Now it becomes all about the baby. Babies, calm down, take the pacifier out. Now extend your neck out. There you go, close your eyes. I'll turn you in a little bit more. So this is pose number 4. 1, 2, and 3. There we go, and that is how fast I would actually shoot that. The last pose, pose number 5, we are going to take, it is actually a variation of pose number 2, but the reason I do this is this actually works really well if mom is carrying weight through the neck. I shoot from a ladder on this one. I'm just gonna say, you know what, just take your hand, put it on her head, and I want you to put the weight of her head in your hand. All I want you to do is lean her away from you. So just lean her this way. There you go, just like that, and just put your lips in close to her. And we're gonna turn her in towards the light a little bit more. And she kissed me, that was nice, thank you. I got a kiss. All right, so turn in this way. So there you go, just look at her again. Separate from her just a tiny bit right there. And her head won't turn. Kind of dorky baby. All right, so let's, right there. Good, nice and tall back. Fingertips on the back of her head, slide them down so I can't see them as much. There you go, and just, I know she doesn't move very well, but squish her head towards the light. There you go. That's like possessed baby there. Hold on, let me get a light test real quick. We're almost done. Looking a little hot, but we're gonna just finish up here. All right, so you're gonna look out at the camera first, so turn your chin out. Now, the thing that I can't show you here is I would be up on a ladder. Would completely change the perspective of what we're doing tomorrow. We will hopefully have a ladder if we can pull that off. It would be up, her angle would be up, and I'm gonna show you that in stills in just a minute. So pretend like I'm up in the air. Good, now put your lips on her chin, close your eyes. Good, there's 2, turn towards the light a little bit more. That way, you got it right there. And beautiful. Now, last but not least, remember we're shooting for product lines. Never, ever, ever, ever shoot the hands and feet before you do this part. Because even though you think the baby's in a good mood and you think everything's going okay, you have a very short window. This baby could be screaming its head off and I can shoot the feet now. And it doesn't matter. Pacifier in the mouth doesn't matter. So you're gonna put her in just a normal cradling position, and I'm gonna quickly catch these 2 shots. The first one, what I want you to do is to take this hand, I want you to make it like a gun. Tuck your 3 fingers in, and I want you to gently hold her little finger. Top right there, there you go. Now, again, shadow is everything. You're gonna see this more in the stills that I'm gonna show you. I'm bringing the light behind because I wanna put shadow on the front to create depth in the image. If I shoot it from the front, it's gonna flatten it out. If I shoot it from the back, it's gonna be magical. We can even make doll fingers look real. Now, that is like the smallest doll hand ever. So turn towards me a little bit more. Right there, there we go. All right, we're almost there. This is not gonna be amazing, but I'll show you a real baby and a real doll, but you can see the shadow detail. Now imagine cropping in just the fingers, it's coming. But imagine we're gonna use this as a 5x5 in a frame. So we're only gonna see this small portion of it. Can you see the shadows? I just wanna show you this. If I bring this around and I don't move that light, what I'm gonna get, it's gonna come up in a second, is this. So while you wait for that, I'm gonna go ahead and set you up for the next shot. Make a cup with your hand. And I just wanna get those little toes right in here. Good deal. And we can do that again with the toes as well. So you can see, do you see the difference in the lighting? Thank you very much. Now, I would say that's a little too much shadow, but I'd rather have more shadow than less shadow because that creates the little divots and the little cute things that are all about those baby toes. So now, this one's gonna be harder because I have lights on. This one I can, with modeling lights, can typically see, but I'm not gonna be able to see very well because there's a lot of light. All I wanna do is make those toes glow. Remember, this is gonna be cropped into a 5x5. Let's just break that baby's arm. There you go. Tuck a nice cute little cup. I tell mom to make a nice little cup with her hand. Let me get those toes together. There you go, just side by side. What I'm looking for is highlights and shadow on the feet. So here we go. This is, we're gonna try to bring those up side by side again. This is the first shot with hopefully what will be shadow detail. Again, I can't see what I'm getting. Too much shadow, so that's exactly what I was worried about. So let me bring it around front a little tiny bit. Let me key it around. There you go, not too much. That might be too much, but we'll try that. So now we have a little more light on the feet. That was too little detail. I like the little toes glowing like that, but there's no detail on the little pads of the feet. So we're going to bring that up, and we're going to show you the difference. A little more light. Now you can see the crevices in the feet, which is important. Now I'm going to show you a really poor version, which is if I didn't move the light at all and I was lazy and I just shot that light straight on, then you're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to have very flat lighting. So that's super boring to me. They look fat and flat and ugly. I would rather have, if I had to pick out of the three, or the first one and the last one, I'd pick the first one for the detail that it has. So there we go. Okay, we're going to quickly have you guys set up, and I can answer a few questions. Remember, we're going to go through all of what I just did in stills if I can cram it into 20 minutes or less.
Great, Sandy. Quite a few people, including NVS, is wondering if it matters if the baby is asleep or awake during the beginning to end of these poses.
As far as asleep or awake, does it matter? Parents want their babies awake, even the newborns. You have no say in it whatsoever. If the baby wants to sleep, they will. Typically, they won't. And so most babies are awake for this series. So usually they're within that 20-minute window. There is a 5 to 10-minute break with nursing. I consider shooting time the actual physical shooting time, but if I have to take a break, that's no problem. If a baby needs to be settled, that's not an issue.
And a question from Dharmesh. What color clothing do you suggest for the parents?
Parents are typically, for this work, we suggest dark clothing. I'm going to go over that in just a minute.
Okay.
But typically dark clothing for the reasons we stated, the weight issues and things like that. For babies, our babies are almost always naked.
Okay. Oh, that was another question.
Exactly. I'll go
We
with
like
that.
no clothes, and we're going to go through that and how that works as well.
Perfect. Marta Photography is wondering, I'm a great believer in natural light. How would you achieve any of the shots with natural light?
All of this can be done with natural light. In fact, tomorrow we are going to use continuous light, which will be, to me, is almost identical to natural light, and we're going to show you. The difference is the volume of light. I can control and collapse that light down to a tiny pinpointed area. So that's why I'm getting those really dark shadows and the clothing is falling to black. If I was using natural light, you're not going to get that dark, that dark contrast. You're not going to get the separation off the background. They're still absolutely breathtaking. I love natural light images. It's just a matter of your choice. For me, I'm selling portraits and I want to slim everybody down and I want them to feel comfortable, so I choose to go this. That doesn't mean I only shoot on black, by the way. It means if I know I have my best 20 minutes, I'm going to do it here, and then anything after that, I'm going to go all over the place. Different backgrounds, different, my clients don't just get black backgrounds.